Somebody once told me that Shrek had another voice actor. A voice actor named Farley, Chris Farley to be exact. If you're not familiar with Chris Farley, well, he was a comedian and actor that worked on SNL for a while. He was a fan favorite, known for his incredible energy and his bombastic comedic style, more relegated to slapstick humor and a lot of screaming.
Do you want my head to explode? In the name of all that is good and decent, no more for today!
He had a knack for portraying absolute goofballs in a ton of movies, and he had a fantastic chemistry with David Spade, who would always play the perfect straight man to Chris Farley's idiocy. They had a pretty good double act going on that was tragically cut short when Chris Farley was found dead in his apartment on December 18th, 1997 due to a drug overdose. Farley had a long history of drug addiction, which unfortunately led to his death at the young age of 33. Many of the projects he was working on were completely halted, one of which actually made it to the big screen posthumously. Though there is one interesting project that he was involved in, and that of course being Shrek. Yeah, Shrek, you know, get out of my swamp, Shrek is love, Shrek is life, donkey. You know that guy? Yeah. Well, Mike Myers did a pretty good job voicing him, giving him that iconic Scottish accent that everyone knows him for, but the role was initially given to Chris Farley, and in some strange universe, Farley would have been Shrek if not for his unfortunate death. It was a role that was meant to break him out of his fat man falling cast type, which he had been so well known for. During this time, actually, he was involved with the project, which was a biopic of Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, and it would have been his first drama he'd ever been involved in. When you look at that and his role in Shrek, you can see that Farley was trying to branch out and be more than just the funny man. Even his role in Shrek was going to be somewhat down to earth and less snarky than Mike Myers' Shrek. This was to reflect Farley's comedy style, and maybe it was out of common courtesy or just a case of ego, but Myers did request the entire film to be rewritten so that he wouldn't be starring in a Chris Farley film where Chris Farley wasn't even in it. As director Andrew Adamson put it, Chris's Shrek and Mike's Shrek are really two completely different characters, as much as Chris and Mike are two completely different people. At this time in production, it was really close to completion, with the project reportedly being only about 85% finished. It was so close to completion that after Farley's passing, the team considered hiring an impersonator to finish the last remaining lines. The only surviving proof that Chris Farley was ever Shrek was this DVD extra that showed an animatic that featured Chris Farley and Donkey, played by Eddie Murphy, both conversing under the moon and stars. You know, that one scene where they kind of like have a heart-to-heart when the princess has to go to sleep. Yeah, that scene. It's a few minutes long, but it really shows just how different this Shrek was compared to Mike's Shrek. There's a very soothing and almost warm quality to Chris's Shrek, making him more of a softie than the very brash and crude Myers Shrek.
Man, there's nothing like a fire and a noble romantic mission to warm the cockles of your heart.
Yeah. I like my cockles room temperature, thank you very much.
Hey, if you're not doing this for cockle warming, why are you doing it?
Simple. Fartwad gets his princess, I get what I want.
Which is? Now come on, what do you want?
I don't have time to set it to music.
Oh, this is another one of those onion things.
No, this is one of those drop it and leave me alone things.
Well, why don't you want to talk about it?
Why do you want to talk about it?
Why are you answering the question with a question?
Why are you asking questions I don't want to answer?
Why are you blocking?
I'm not blocking.
Then why do you have problems expressing your wants?
I don't. I want you to shut up. See? No problem.
You're just displacing your anger.
Believe me, it's properly placed.
You're really mad at whoever did this to you.
No one did anything to me.
Yes. Someone hurt you so bad. Someone hurt you many years ago.
Leave my parents out of this!
Breakthrough! Let's go with that. Let's explore family origin. Were you hugged as a child, Shrek?
All right. I want a home. And someone to share it with. Okay?
Yes, Shrek. It's okay.
Farquaad said he'd give me my own swamp in exchange for the princess.
You really think you can trust that Weasley oil rag, don't you?
Yeah, right. But now I'm gonna have what he wants.
Boy, has he underestimated you.
Yeah, he can join the club. People see me and they go, "Ah! Help! A big, stupid, stinky, smelly, ugly ogre! I'm so scared!" And they judge me before they even know me. My folks always told me that everyone loves ogres.
I see.
So, I guess they were a little overprotective.
A little?
That's why I gotta do this. I want them to know I can take care of myself.
You want to make him proud.
Yeah.
You know what? When we met, I didn't think he was just a big, stupid, ugly ogre.
I know.
Night, Shrek.
Night, Donkey.
It's honestly fascinating the difference in characters these two portrayed, despite being the exact same character. Although, as cool as it would be to see what else Chris Farley managed to voice, and perhaps even get more animatics out of a few iconic scenes, it's perhaps out of the respect towards the family that this hasn't been shown to the public. Though, it is worth noting that it was around this time period that Chris was beginning to lose his battle against drugs, and hindsight is 2020, but I can't help but feel that there is a missing energy with this acting. Don't get me wrong, it's great, but really, compare these few minutes with any few minutes of any other Farley film and you'll see what I mean. Or maybe that's just my mind interpreting things that just aren't there. I mean, yeah, it's a somber scene and it's one of the film's biggest lows, so maybe that's just the way he wanted to portray it. Or maybe he really wanted to take his acting career seriously and be more somber and less energetic like he was known for. Who knows? Well, I guess anyone who worked with Farley at the time knows. Andrew Adamson actually recalls back when they were recording with Chris Farley how everybody was just on the floor laughing all the time throughout the entire performance, but there is one notable part where he had to sing the Feeling Groovy song by Simon and Garfunkel. He was supposed to sing it in a very comedic way, but Chris probably wasn't too sure whether or not it was supposed to be comedic or if it was supposed to be a bit somber and sad. So when he sung it, it was much more of a vulnerable side of him that most people don't usually see. He was actually singing it very sadly and through a very somber tone. And people expected that he would have sung it funny because this is a comedy, but apparently everybody in the booth was kind of taken aback by the whole thing. But they were appreciative that he was so vulnerable to them in the first place. It just kind of came out of nowhere to them, and Adamson says that it was just to prove that he really wanted to take his career somewhere else other than to just be funny all the time. Chances are we'll never see the rest of Farley's performance. It'd just take too much time, maybe too much money even, for something that'll quench the thirst of a few curious weirdos that are hunting down this sort of stuff. I just say let it die. We have to honestly accept that what's happened has happened, and that it's just the reality of things. It's sad, yes, of course it is, but remember, everything that Farley has ever done exists now on multiple outlets, several streaming services, and a few network channels. So we should be happy that Chris Farley left behind so many smiles, so much laughter, and a ton of energy to light up the world 10 times over. Miss you, Farley.